Hello, everyone. Hey. Um, Good afternoon. I hope you had a good morning today and a good week. Although all the things that are happening in the world, you're keeping positive spirits. Um, that's why we kind of arranged an amazing interview with our own model, Jack Ravel, today. So I'm waiting for him to join now. Jack, he's a mindset life coach, and he will help you feel motivated. He's a very positive, optimistic, energetic guy, and he is pretty great with advice and all his tips. So he'll be talking to me about what to do to have a successful career post lockdown and during lockdown as well. So just waiting for Jack now. I don't know where he is. There he is. Okay. Jack is here. Just waiting. Oh, there he is. Okay.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Apologies, I'm a little bit late. Our
No,
clock
don't.
in my kitchen is has decided to stop. So I suddenly looked at it and went, "Oh shit! Oh, what's the time?" And then like, yeah, that's
You must
quickly
be
find my.
you. Yeah, I was thinking because I was listening to your interview at 12 that you were running this morning.
Yeah, I
Oh my
was.
God, you must be pretty tired doing two
You know,
lives, 21 kilometers.
yeah, I did a half marathon this morning. Yeah, it was awesome actually. I did it for a friend of mine, James, who is basically he's been diagnosed with acute leukemia in the time during lockdown, but it's also a bit of a harder blow because he's just given birth to a baby boy, 6 weeks, called Charlie,
Oh no.
and he's just obviously they're dealing with lockdown, dealing with not being able to see family, and now they're dealing with the fact that he's got leukemia, and it's just all bad. So anyway, I thought, what can I do to help? His brother and a few of his other family have shaved their heads, and I'll tell you now, I look like someone that you need to arrest if you've shaved my head. So I was like, I'm not gonna shave my head. I don't look very good. So I said I'll run a marathon, I'll run a half marathon for you instead. So yeah, I did that this morning, which was really really good. But I've been trying to keep up this goal setting. This month, I've set myself some audacious goals, and one of them is to join the 6 a.m. club. So I want to get up at 6 a.m. regardless of what I'm doing, up at 6 and just like get on with my day. And so part of that has been, I was up at 6 this morning, and then I went and ran from like 7 till Upper State ish, and then I kind of had to get home and everything. So busy morning, but I'm
That's
here.
very interesting. And
Got
yeah,
coffee.
you need to keep going with the coffee. Make sure you're
Exactly.
hydrated and
Exactly.
nourished with good food. And actually, talking about the 6 a.m., I really like your initiative, the June month of June. And I told myself when I heard that I'm gonna start. I really want to read one book a week. It's not going so well, to be honest, because I've been quite distressed with what's happening around the world right now. I don't really want to talk about it because I don't want to go into that negative energy, but I really love that month, so I'll let you know how many books I'll end up reading by the end of the month.
Absolutely, definitely. I mean, I've tried to. I'm trying to get people to tell me what they're up to, and sort of because the whole thing with setting goals is that it's all well and good telling yourself that you're going to do something, but if you don't actually follow through with it, then who's the only person that knows? It's you, right? It's
Very
you.
good,
So
yeah.
if you tell people about it, then it's like having a personal trainer at the gym. Okay, if
Yeah.
you say to your personal trainer on like Friday afternoon, you're like, I'm going to see you Monday morning, right? And then you go out, you have a good weekend or do whatever. And then Monday morning comes, you're like, oh no, I've got to actually get there and whatever. If you didn't have the personal trainer, you probably wouldn't go, right? Let's be honest. You probably wouldn't do, you'd probably go later, or maybe you just skip it till the next day.
Absolutely, yeah.
But if you have someone there to account, like for accountability reasons, and also like, you know, watching you and sort of being there to support you through it, it makes you want to do it more, because the fear of failing it is more prominent than actually just doing it in the first place. So
Absolutely, yeah.
when if you want to put it on social media, I mean, I'm not gonna force you to, but I'd say it's a good idea to share your views and share your goals with people. Just put hashtag life hacks with Jack, right? I'll put it, if anyone else is watching that wants to set some goals and wants to get me to give them a kick up the arse if they need to, I'm going to put it here. Where is it? Life hacks. Where we go, with Jack. Yeah, if you ever if you want me to, I'll follow that hashtag. And if anyone pops up with that hashtag and they've put that and they've said, I'm going to do this month, I will be on your case, right? And if I will make sure that you're doing it, and I will be there to be that accountability factor for you. So if anyone's got any goals they want to achieve and they're struggling with kind of procrastination, love that word, get on that hashtag and I will be the person to make
That's
sure
why
you
I
do your
miss
goals.
school, you know? I miss school, and you know, you have a deadline and you have this, you have to
Exactly.
do it.
Yeah,
I
look,
remember in my A levels, I had to read two or three books a week, English lit, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I can do it. But then English is my second language. It was very difficult, but I had to do it, you know.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's good
Exactly.
we have Jack here. Jack, I was wondering, you talked about the 6 a.m. club, and
Yeah.
that's the thing I kind of want to start off with, because you're very a happy person and like very motivated and you know, optimistic, and you have all this good energy, and in order to stay motivated, you have to feel good, right?
Of
You
course.
can't
Yeah.
just not, you can't be motivated if you're not feeling good about yourself and stuff. So what's your like daily routine of that successful mindset of being motivated? Because it has to be a routine, right, that you
Yeah.
put
You're
into
absolutely
a
right.
daily life.
Yeah, totally. Look, thank you first of all for sharing that. I'm glad that what I'm putting out is being received in the right way. If you think I'm a happy, smiley, optimistic individual, then yes, job done. Thank you so much. So the way that I mean, it comes down to a couple of things, but I think the main thing that if anyone is struggling with kind of keeping themselves on a certain track, you're right. The question you have to ask yourself is, what do you want? Okay. Now, the what and the why, there's a bit of a conflicting interest here. But like, if you ask yourself, why do I want something? Okay, you can start kind of envisioning things in the future, and you can sort of think, why would I like that? I'd like that because of this. I like this because of that. You know, give me this, give me that. Whereas if you say, what do I want? It's specific, okay? And it becomes tangible. So, for example, let's say my want this month is to get up at 6 a.m. every day. I want to get up at 6 a.m. every day, okay? Now, what is that going to give me? What's that going to give me? It's going to give me more hours of my day. It's going to give me much more productivity time in my day as well, because as we all know, life gets away with you. And on a day-to-day basis, if you say, oh yeah, I'll do that later, later never comes. Okay. It's good to just get up and get it out of the way and get it done, because then you can have the rest of the day to actually enjoy yourself. And, you know, if you're somebody who is sort of always ambitious and looking to do different things and quite a busy person, which people are in life, then, you know, things always come up and you have to end up squeezing them in at the end of the day, because you haven't sort of done what you need to do at the beginning, right? So what it also gives me is, it gives me structure. And this is my second point, structure is a super important thing to have, because it gives you a reason to want to follow through with something. Okay, so it's like, comes back to having a plan. If you just say, oh, I'm going to do this, right, great, wicked, that's the first thing. You're committing to doing something. You've committed to getting up at 6 a.m., for example. But it's all well and good committing to something, but unless you do it every day with consistency, right, then it's not gonna stick around, right? So you have to have discipline and you have to have structure in order to make them happen. Now, the best way you can get that is by just creating a plan. And the plan is, it's like, for example, I ordered one of these the other day. I ordered a whiteboard, and I've got this thing here, this is my whiteboard thing for here. It literally came yesterday, so today is the day that I've kind of filled it in on. But
Is
basically,
that
it's
a
just
weekly one, or
a
and
weekly one.
it's a
It's a week,
whiteboard?
yeah, it's a whiteboard weekly one, and it comes with these little pens. It cost me £14 on Amazon. It can stick to your fridge. I've got it on another whiteboard because I can then like draw around it and stuff. But what that does for me is I have a month plan, right, which I write down kind of like what I want to achieve this month, and then I break it down. And when I break it down into the smallest possible thing that will get me like completing that goal that day. Okay, so for example, if I'm going to be getting up at 6 a.m., then what have I got to not do the night before? Or what have I got to do on the morning of to make sure that I can complete that task, right? What's the smallest, easiest thing I can do? If we put it into perspective, setting an alarm. I set an alarm for 5 to 6 or 6 o'clock, right? And then I make a rule with myself, and this is where the discipline comes in, that when that alarm goes off, I don't snooze, I don't turn it off, I don't chuck it across the room. I get up, I put my feet on the floor and I walk across the other side of the room. Or I get up and I turn the light on, or I get up and have a glass of water, something that makes you change your state of mind from where you were sleeping comfortably in your bed to following through with what you said you were going to do, and the discipline that's going to get you up and doing whatever it is you want to do from 6 o'clock in the morning onwards. Okay. Now, if you don't have that discipline, then there's a way of being able to instill it in you. There's a way of being able to cause self-discipline. And this is how you do it, right? There's a guy called BJ Fogg, and he's a scientist or like a research psychologist at the University of Stanford. And he's got this philosophy called small habits or tiny habits. And what it basically says is if you're doing something autonomously anyway, right? So it's a habit already in your life. So let's, for example, say you get up in the morning and you have a glass of water, or you look at your phone, or whatever it might be, right? You do that without fail every morning. Attach something that you want to do new into your life, as in form a new habit, onto the back of that one you're already doing. So let's say, for example, you want to get up at 6. Okay, you set your alarm, you get up at 6, but then you think, well, what am I gonna do with my time? Let's say you want to get your emails done at 6 o'clock in the morning, because that's like the best time to get them done from the day before. Say to yourself, right, I'm going to do one email at 6 o'clock. That's it. It doesn't matter if you've got 10 or 50 or 100, but you're going to just do one email in the morning. And when you've done that one email, you give yourself a pat on the back. You give yourself a high five. You celebrate. You go, yes, I did that one email. And what that does is it psychologically instills that good feeling of actually doing the thing that you set out to do in your brain and in your body, and those natural endorphins start getting released. And you will then start to associate that getting up at 6 and doing one email a day, right, with a good feeling, which then in turn, over time, will become a normal everyday habit because it feels good to do it. Why wouldn't you want to do habits? So if you then got to the point where you're doing one a day, well, while you're there, you might as well do 2 or 3 or 5 or 10. Do you know what I mean? It's all about getting the ball rolling. And that's the hardest thing for a lot of people to do, is to just start. And it's so easy to say, yeah, just start doing it. But if you haven't got a plan and you haven't got structure and you haven't got something that's going to stop you from doing the other thing, which is staying in bed, for example, then you're going to struggle. So make it as easy as possible to complete the goal, and just try and be disciplined through attaching it to things that you're already doing in life.
Yeah, I heard simply doing bed in the morning, it's like it changes your life apparently as well. I think it was similar philosophy or routine, that just doing that makes you feel good, and then you go on to another task, and it's so simple, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. So what I don't know if you're modeling still. You are in the entertainment industry, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
So for all the people that are watching now, like all the models and people that are obviously not just models, but they have their they have
Still
their
got it.
own projects and ambitions, and entrepreneurs. What during this lockdown, what can they do to be more productive? And then when the lockdown's almost finished, I don't know what's happening, but if it will be finished, they can sort of feel strong and positive.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. And I get this a lot. And it's simply just learn, just use this time to be self-developing you, like you and whatever you are into and whatever you want to do, whatever it is that you're looking to achieve. You know, as we all know, the modeling, acting, the entertainment world has gone poof overnight. It's just vanished, right? My earnings have gone from nothing, from whatever to nothing overnight because there's just nothing out there. Okay. And it's slowly creeping back in. But I think that I can speak openly here and say that it's going to take a while to get back to what it was before. Okay. So if there's anybody watching that has got something that they thought, you know what, I've always wanted to do that, or oh, I've got this idea, but I'm not sure when the right time to start it is, or you know, I've got this thing that I've been, you know, trying to work out for a while, but I haven't got the time to do it. Now is the time. Now is the time. And what you can do, there's a couple of things you can do to kind of build what I like to call your little bubble around what you're doing. Now, the first thing is confidence. Okay, whenever you do something new in life, it's going to take some extra effort from your part to get it done because it's something that's new. You're not used to it. It's a different environment, different people, or different set of skills that you may need. Okay, so as the quote goes, there is no comfort in the learning zone, but there's also no learning in the comfort zone. So if you stay where you are, right, doing what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got, right? It's very simple. So you have to broaden your horizons. So in order to do that, right, read. Reading is the best thing I could ever have started doing. And I'll be honest with you, reading when I was younger, I hated. I absolutely hated reading. Like school, I wasn't bothered by it. I just didn't enjoy it. And I think it was because they got us reading books that maybe I wasn't interested in at the time. But now that I'm obviously an adult and I can do what I want and I can read what I want, I pick books that I'm interested in. So I read a lot of stuff on coaching, self-development, motivation, self-discipline.
What
Um,
are your favorite three books?
Favorite three books. So first one is one I read recently. It's called Essentialism. I've got, I'll tell you what, I'll get them here so people who are watching can actually see the covers. Right. One, what was that second one? Two, three. Okay, here we go. First one, Essentialism.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, Greg McEwen. Okay, this book basically talks about how in life you've got lots of things that coming at you from left, right, and center, and as you get older in life, things get busier. Okay, you will. Oh, you only have a certain amount of energy you can give to the things you really want to give. So essentialism is all about understanding what's important right now. Okay, right now. So if something is you're doing something in your life that isn't necessarily serving you in what you want to achieve, either get rid of it or put it on hold. Okay, because it's taking away your energy. Your time is the most valuable commodity, right? Let me say that again. Your time is the most valuable commodity you will ever own. More than money, more than fame, more than anything else, time is something you cannot get any more of because it's the most valuable thing. So use it wisely, okay? Get rid of crap that's not serving you. Get rid of stuff that doesn't mean anything to you. Get rid of even people in your life that aren't giving you anything back, right? It's going to sound harsh, but you need that in order for you to develop into the better person you want to be. So yes, Essentialism, great book. Second book, Mark Manson, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Again, he's a very, very interesting writer. He talks very bluntly about life, and it's very cut and dry. And he talks about how, you know, if you want to do something in life, you just have to commit and you know, be the person that you know you want to see yourself in the future, and commit to the actions that you've put in front of you. Okay, so don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks of you, for example, or don't give a fuck if it doesn't work, or don't give a fuck if you know, something doesn't particularly go right the first time, because it's all a learning process. And that's what I think people need to understand, is that, you know, I love the acronym again with the analogies here. The word fail, FAIL, stands for first attempt in learning, because that's exactly what it is. When you fail at something, it's your first attempt at learning what you're doing. So if you know, pretend that, like, let's say someone watching now wants to become, you know, a guitar player during lockdown. You're going to pick up a guitar. You're not going to have no idea what to do. But if you put it down again, how much further are you to getting to your goal? Nowhere. Whereas if you try and realize that, oh, maybe that's not the right way to hold it, or that's not, the song's a bit hard, let me try this chord, you'll get there in the end. But you have to keep trying, right? Simple as that. So yeah, really good book for some, basically some, I'd like to say some very blunt nuggets of knowledge that will get you through life. And then the last one, which is the one obviously I was talking about earlier, which is the Tiny Habits book by BJ Fogg. And again, if you're struggling with creating good habits or getting rid of bad habits in your life, okay, that book will solve all your problems. There's another book as well called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Again, a similar sort of book, but it just talks about, understanding that when you want to do something in life, you have to create the world in which it will fit. Okay, there's no point sort of saying, oh, I'm gonna be super fit, right? I'm gonna run an Ironman, but you're still eating crap food and not training, because they don't marry up, right? You need to create the environment in which your dreams and goals are going to then excel. Again, if you're somebody who wants to change careers, so if you're someone who's maybe been in a certain industry and now you're looking to do something else, but all of your past, not say relationships, I'd say network, are in this particular industry, and they're not going to care what you're doing next, get rid of them. Get rid of them. They're not going to care, because they're not going to know what you're doing, and they're not going to care what you're doing anyway. So you're going to invent a new group of people. And I think people get a bit upset by feeling like they're losing followers, for example, right? Followers, I found the funniest thing over the last couple of weeks is that I've actually deleted followers from my account, right? And I'll tell you why I've done that. It's because I am losing the messages that I'm putting out there to people that actually want to see them. So of my Instagram following of 8,000 people, whatever it is, I've realized that I'm only getting through to about 100 of them, 150 of them max, okay? And it's because the algorithm of Instagram works by engagement, okay? So I've got all these random people that maybe don't give a shit that I'm doing coaching now and going down this path. They're still on their path. Not to say I don't like them, it's just that they're not serving me in my purpose. So I will delete them, right? If they haven't been on Instagram for over 2 years, right? Or, they're not sort of interacting with me, or we're not interacting together, get rid of them. If they want to follow you again, they can. You're an open account, right?
How do you get that confidence and courage to do that?
Okay, so first of all, if anyone is worried about losing followers, then their ego needs a check, okay? Followers are just a number.
And friends. I'm talking about, like you said, about people that are not serving you around you.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Right. So friends will be your friends if whatever you do in life, they'll be your friends regardless. You don't have to have, thousands and thousands of friends to do everything that you want to do in life. If you went from being, I don't know, let's say an astronaut to a doctor, okay, like, two fairly different industries, but if you've got all loads of space friends and then suddenly you've got loads of medical friends, the ones that actually care about you, because what you do doesn't define you, it's just a part of who you are. So if you're so worried about what people think of you, then that's something that you need to look into a bit more, rather than actually worrying about what people think you're doing. Because if anything, the reason you're changing career is because you want a better life. Right? You want to do better in your world. So therefore, you're changing careers because it's going to work for you. If somebody says, what are you changing careers for? Like, you're stupid, or like, oh, no, that's never going to work, or, oh, you're that's boring. What are you doing that for? Get rid of them. They aren't serving you. They're not doing anything good for your life. So get rid of them. And they will either realize they've made a mistake in losing you as a friend and come back around and say sorry and then start working with you, being your friend again, or you've cut off the dead wood. They're the people that you don't even want in your life anyway, because they won't support you when you're actually doing something really, really good. And that's what you really need when you're first starting out in business, with a project, with a passion. You need support. So surround yourself with the people that give a shit about who you are. That's what I'd say about that.
In the entertainment industry, or modeling, I heard that unfortunately models don't get jobs booked because they have less than 10,000 followers, or less than 15. Or when you want to apply for an O1 in the US, you have to have 50,000 followers. Otherwise, you can't apply for the visa.
Okay. I can't comment on visas. I don't know much about that, but I can comment on Instagram and being in work for it. And I
more bookable, yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you a story. So back in 2018, I came off Instagram. I deleted it. I was not on social media for 1.5 years. Okay. The reason I came off it was because I was having a bad relationship with it. I was following people that weren't serving me in terms of my mental health. I was looking at people and feeling worse about myself, rather than using it for what it's meant to, which is to sort of spread good news and help people grow. And I just didn't like it. So I had the thought of, right, let's just get off it. And I initially thought I'd do it for 30 days because I thought I'd just give myself a detox. And I spoke to my agents, and they all said, well, actually, some of them said, I don't think it's a good idea. Others said, sure, you know, what, like, what's the harm? Others were really supportive. And what I found was the people that didn't want me off it were saying that clients like to be able to see what you're up to. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but if you've had a previous, you know, following, or you've got something on there, the profile was still active because people did need to see who I was, but I didn't touch it for 18 months. Okay. So what that meant was not only was I a little bit more mysterious, so when a client met me at a casting, they'd be like, oh yeah, Jack Revell, well, let's put his Instagram in. And they'll be like, oh, he hasn't posted for about 3-4 months. But like what he's done before is quite cool. Like he went traveling and oh, he likes this and whatever. You know, it became this sort of game of like, well, he's quite mysterious. I wonder what he's up to now. Like, oh, maybe let's talk to him more. And you become the anomaly. You become the people that you're not just like everybody else. Okay, so that was the first thing. Second thing, as we all know, working with brands can sometimes be a hindrance working with other brands. Okay, I could work with a company and and I put something on social media, and then because of what I've put on social media, another company with a similar product or a similar ethos might look at me and go, oh no, we can't work with him because he's done that. But they don't know what the contract said. They don't know what the usage is. They don't know what we've done in respect of where it is or the territories and all that sort of stuff. So they basically, you almost, as the expression goes, you bite your nose off to spite your face. You know, you kind of like saying, hey, look what I've done, but actually could hinder your experience going forward. So that's when you're not on it at all. When it comes to having enough following, I can tell you categorically now, this is truth, brands that actually give a shit about what their message is saying don't go for high numbers. They don't go for high numbers. They go for engagement. And there's a website you can check somebody's engagement, and it's free. It's called ninjalytics.com. Okay, go on there and type in your own handle and you can see what your engagement is. And it's basically just a maths. It's how many followers you've got divided by the amount of comments on average you get per post, right? So if somebody has got -1 or whatever it is, 0.01, right? Why would a brand pay them money or book them for a job if it's on their social media account? Because they're not going to get any sort of like traction on it. Whereas if someone's got like 2,000 followers and they're getting 400 likes and 400 comments per post, that's like, holy shit, you've got actual 400 people looking at your stuff. We want to work with you.
Real people.
Real people. And this is what I'm saying. It reverts back to why I've been deleting people who are not on Instagram that apparently are following me, is because my posts I'm putting out there, I want people to see. Like, I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just trying to promote good vibes. That's it. Trying to promote people to say, look, this is what I'm doing. This is a book I've read. This is what I think about this particular thing. But it's not hitting my audience because people are following me that aren't doing anything on Instagram. So it's buggering up the maths. So I would say that go on Ninjalytics and look at what your engagement rate is. And if it's anything under 1%, start deleting people off your following, because you're not getting the people that you're not getting. It's pointless having it. It's a false economy, if you like.
Okay. That's really interesting, but I get it, because I deleted my Instagram I made it private actually, and
okay.
A few years ago, and then I was like, felt so much better actually with just having my friends on it, and then I felt kind of feel of regret that I didn't, because now it's all about the following but like you said, I think it's important that models do work with people that they have a good connection with, like good brands, right? Ethical
absolutely.
brands, the ones that they have good connection with and they like. So that's absolutely really good. What was the website called again?
It's called Ninjalytics. Let me put it. I'll put it in here.
Yeah.
Ninjalytics.com. If I've spelled that wrong, I apologize. But yeah, if you pin that, do you know how to pin something?
No, hold on.
So when I post this, just click on it. Click my what I've just posted on the comments. Yeah. It will say pin comment, and then it will stay at the bottom.
There.
Yeah, perfect. So that's pinned. So now I think I've spelled that right, but if you put that into Google, you'll find it, and there's even an app for it and stuff. But it's free, and you can see what people's engagement's all about. And that, to be honest with you, it's why I have, so with my Instagram lives that I do, a lot of the time, if I'm reaching out to people that I don't know outside of my circle, I'll go on Ninjalytics and I'll sort of find a few people that I like the look of, and I'll see what their engagement's like. Because ultimately, I'm not going on to talk to somebody who's gonna just like me and them have a conversation. I think it's great that we can do that, but I ultimately want to be able to get people engaged with what we're saying. And that's what the whole point of it is. You know, people are struggling in this time. They really are, whether it be you're struggling about money or your finances, or whether it be about, you know, your family and your friends, or being lonely or mental health. You know, the thing is, we all use this app, Instagram, every single day, every day. If anything, I think we use it more than any other app on our phone. So why are we not using it for good? Why are we not using it to actually help people and to spread knowledge? Like, if anybody's watching this that has something that they can give that's valuable to somebody else, the sort of thing that you would tell your best friend, or the sort of thing that you would, you know, share with someone you haven't seen for a couple of years, and you're proud of sharing it or something like that, put it online. Put it online, because you never know who will see it and who will get value from that. And even if one person turns around and says, hey, thanks so much for posting that how to on to do my makeup, or how to play the guitar, or how to write a short story, whatever it might be, put it up there, because that may change somebody's life going forward. It will have the compound interest to help them move forward with the rest of their life. So do it, just put it out there. And if you want to, put hashtag life hacks with Jack, and I will follow it, and I will make sure, because I've been doing obviously the accountability thing, and if you wanna, you know, hashtags with Jack, I'm gonna put that up there as well. And if you can pin that,
We pin that.
life hacks with Jack. Oh, here we go, with Jack. Yeah, pop that in there. On any post that you put out there that's trying to give value to people, put that hashtag, and I will follow it. I will push it. I will plug it. I will make sure that people are trying to look at it, and you know, do anything I can to make sure that people are seeing it and getting value from it, because that's what it's all about. You know, people need help during this time, and if we can't help them physically, help them online, help them do, you know, help them promote themselves through helping others. That's what I think is such an important part of this whole process.
Yeah, it's really generous what you're doing. I think you're helping a lot of people, and I think that's really important. But also, you said, so this, to prepare for the lockdown, obviously, you said learning books.
Yeah.
What day, obviously having this structure is important, but now in the lockdown, the structure is a bit, you know, so what else can we do to maximize our potential?
Okay, so you say that structure's gone. It hasn't. You've just lost something that was basically causing you to be structured, right? So you've lost whether it be a job that you had to go to each day at 8 o'clock in the morning, or you know, somewhere you had to be at a certain time. You've lost that because it's now not happening anymore. Doesn't mean you can't still have structure, right? Structure is something that you create for yourself. So if you want structure in your day, okay, this is a really good tip. Okay, take a piece of paper. Okay, if you haven't got a board like I showed you earlier, take a piece of paper and draw 24 squares, right, on it. 24 squares. And those 24 squares represent the 24 hours you have in a day, right? Color in the hours that you sleep, because you're not doing anything during that time, you're resting, right? Just color them in, okay? Then go through and work out what you need to do in that day that's essential, whether it be having a shower, brushing your teeth, eating food, calling your mum, whatever. Just put those in at the times they're meant to and color them in another color, right? Then look at what you've got left, okay? And use that time to its absolute advantage. So you think to yourself, right, what do I really want to do during lockdown? Do I want to read 3 books? Do I want to learn a language? Do I want to complete a course or something, right? Figure out what it is you want to do, work out how long that's going to take to do, and then break it down into the most easy possible chunks to do each day. So if it's an hour a day, then that it's 1 square out of 24. It doesn't take much. But you have to plan it, and you have to put it in your diary, and you have to have something that you can check on every single day. Because if you don't, you won't do it, because there's no one else telling you to. It's only yourself. So if you write it down, it becomes a goal. Otherwise, it's just an idea up here, right? And nobody knows what's going on up here except for you.
Write stuff down. It's really important,
write
right?
stuff down. Put it on a piece of paper. I mean, like, I've got like boards everywhere in my room, and so everywhere I look, I've got something that I'm looking at. I'm like, I need to do that. I've got quite a forgetful memory, so I do write a lot of things down, but it helps me progress through. And the thing is, if you get to a point where you're feeling a bit demotivated, and I've had this a lot actually, where people have said like, oh, I started this thing and I've kind of got halfway through and I can't see myself finishing it, right? Ask yourself the question, what are you going to gain from doing that thing you set out to do in the first place? What is it that's going to bring to your life that you were initially really excited about back when you thought of it? Because that's what's going to keep you going a little bit further. It's like the mountain analogy, right? You've got this, you've decided, right, I'm going to climb that mountain. I'm just going to go up there, right? And you start climbing, and then you get to sort of halfway up and you get a bit tired, you know, you're running a bit low on food, you know, your sleeping bag's uncomfortable, whatever. And you think, oh, I can't be asked to keep going, can't keep going. What you need to do is turn around and look at where you've come from. What have you done up to that point to get you there, right? And learn from that, learn from those strengths. Look at what you can harness and go, you know what, actually, what's the point in going back down? Because I'm just gonna have to do it all over again if I actually want to complete this goal. So look around and go, hey, okay, actually, I've done really well getting to this point. I've read, you know, 2 books already, and I've only got 1 more to go. You know, I can do this. Yeah, let's just keep going. And believe me, if you can harness what you've already done and use it to help you go forward, you'll be onto a winner every single time, because you'll never ever feel demotivated. You'll always use your own progressive motivation to get you through any hard task.
Wow, there's a lot to think about, and I'm sure everyone's been writing really positive comments, how helpful it is, and
I know. I've been. Thank you so much for everyone commenting. Honestly, I've kind of just been trying to flick back and forth between looking
yeah,
at
it's
that.
really
So,
positive.
yeah. If anyone's got any questions specifically about what I've said, feel free to message me. I won't bite. I promise. I'm honestly. I'm on social quite a lot.
Do you
And
reply to your DMs?
every time. You know, I always reply to my DMs, and you know, I will answer any questions so long as they're sensible. But if you have anything you want to ask me, I'm open to helping you. And a lot of the time, if there's something that I've maybe covered in a past video I've done, or some content or a resource I found, I'm happy to share it, because that's what it's all about, helping people up through life, you know, not rather than trying to hide things from people. My philosophy is that if people are stealing or sharing my content, then I must be doing a good thing. So come at me, ask me whatever it is you want to know, and I will do my best to help you and serve you in whatever it is I can do.
That's really wonderful. Thank you so much, Jack, for this conversation.
Pleasure.
And
Thank you so much for having me.
yeah, thank you very much. And I think I'll save that on the IGTV so
Please
people
do.
can
Yeah,
rewatch it.
definitely.
And yeah,
Amazing.
what
Well,
you
thank you
doing
so much.
what you doing for the rest of the day?
The rest of today, I've got 2 podcasts I'm doing this afternoon. So I'm going to be chatting to a girl called Emily, who has got a podcast called the Tribe. It's either type tribe or tribe type podcast. But I'm gonna do a story on it in just a sec. And I'm going to be doing that. And then I've actually got another live that I'm doing this afternoon with a Irish lady called Ema. She's a content developer, and she's got this incredible life. She's like a mum of 3, and she's kind of gone from just doing that stuff to creating amazing content about her life through photography. And I just want to catch up with her about her lockdown. So if anyone's around 7 o'clock tonight, I'm going to be doing another live with her and catching up with that one. So yeah, what about you? What are you doing?
I'm going to do, I'm redoing an interview with a friend of mine who was a Shaolin warrior. He is. He was in the temple for 5 years, and I did a live with him a few weeks ago. However,
Cool.
I want to do more.
Yeah.
He's such an interesting person. So I'm actually having an interview with him as well, but not live. I'm going to do that on Zoom, and then I'm going to post on my YouTube channel as well. So
amazing, good stuff. Well, look, just as a final point, if anyone has enjoyed this and you know has taken anything away from it, the one thing I would just say is consistency is key, right? And don't worry about what other people think of you. If you want to do something that makes you happy, go and do it. And if you stick at it and do just a little bit every single day, you will get to the end goal, and you will get to where you want to go. And you know, the thing is that a lot of people won't start something because they're scared of where what people might think, or if it fails or whatever. But the only way you're going to know is by starting. That's it. The only way you're going to know. And if you start and it doesn't work, cool. At least you tried. At least you can say, I went there and tried, and you've got the evidence to prove it. But if you don't try, then who knows what could have happened. So go for gold, as I say. Go for gold. Do what makes you happy.
Start and step by step, isn't it? Because
Exactly.
nothing happens overnight. People think that because the life is so fast now, and there's a
Exactly.
lot of pressure to do things
Yeah.
fast. But I think it takes time to build something amazing and special.
Definitely. And don't compare yourself to other people, right? And I'm a victim of this. I compared myself to a lot of people when I started coaching. I was like, oh, I want to be like him, or I want to be like her. But actually, that actually was a detrimental thing, because that's their thing. That's them. They are who they are because that's who they are. That's their personality. It's a mixture of chemicals of everything that's gone. That's who that person is. I'm different, as are you, as everyone else that's watching. So if you can be you, people love that. People love people that are genuine and authentic. And so if you can be that, like, why wouldn't you? Because it's so easy to be yourself. You know, it's so easy to keep that up for the rest of your life. So start now. Don't try and be someone you're not, because it's going to catch up with you at some stage. Just start being you and be genuine, and people will catch on. You know, if you're looking to build your social media profile, great. Just be yourself. Put stuff out there that people value, right? If you want to start a business, great. Start putting stuff out there and start learning about the things you need to learn to get you to that point, you know? So just be yourself and be true to yourself and trust the process.
Those are wonderful words. Thank you so much, Jack.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Have a
No
good
worries.
day. Thanks.
I'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.